with the dropper post. Nobody will ever forget that one. Oh, don't cross the road with your garbage, please.
Yeah, they did look a little bit stunned. There you go. I mean, there you go.
Good reflexes there. Luckily, no harm was done. But we had this discussion last week. We always think that cycling is the centre of the universe and everybody in the vicinity knows there's a bike race going on, but most people just do not. All of a sudden, we're in the final kilometre. The GPS is off, and this is that final kilometre. It's 4% average. It's about 6 towards the end. This is where we sprinted last year as well, with Marco Frigo being caught inside that final kilometre. This is a last effort from one of the riders from Nice Métropole. I see flowing manes. It might be Mifsud.
Yeah,
but
looks like it's Mifsud.
But yeah, this is of course not going to work out in the final. We want to go back to the front. Come on, we're inside the final kilometre with Mats Pedersen and with Matej Mohoric for the win.
If you were Mohoric now, you're like, well, how on earth do I beat Mats Pedersen on a finish that's essentially designed for him? So this is where Mohoric, you know, he's a wily rider. He's won close sprints in the past, so don't rule out a Mohoric victory. But I would say that he's got his work cut out here. He really has against Pedersen.
Please take us back to the front right now. We need to see the final 500 metres of this race. It looks like we lost contact with the camera on the bike. With our 2 leaders. There they are again. Luckily, we're back with Mats Pedersen and Mohoric. A pretty twisty run-in. Mats Pedersen knows this one because he won this one last year. We're almost at the finish line, and Mats Pedersen is just... Yeah, he's just going to sprint from the front of this group. And just like you said, what does Mohoric have to do about this? Hope and pray.
The thing is, if you go long, if you're Mohoric, that's the kind of sprint that Pedersen can do. So the best thing to do is just see what you've got. Try and follow him and just see what you've got today. But right now, Mohoric is doing the right thing, sitting in the wheel of Pedersen as we head to the final metres.
Yeah, the turn is about, I think, 300 metres out. They are glancing across their... Of course, Mifsud, he's not going to be there in time, but this TV director is all over the place. We just want to go back to the front. They're inside the final K. It was the final K, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a Flamme Rouge. It was most definitely a Flamme Rouge. Mats Pedersen, Matej Mohoric. It's a bit like a track sprint at the moment. Mohoric, this is the only chance that he gets to sprint out of the wheel of Mats Pedersen. Hope that Pedersen has done so much work in this stage that he's running out of legs. But this final kilometre is insanely long. I wonder if that Flamme Rouge was actually positioned in the right direction, because how long can 1 kilometre be? But now we're inside the final finish cameras. Mats Pedersen with the red helmet, and of course Mohoric on his wheel. They are going to sprint for it. We already know that Mats Pedersen is going to be the new race leader. But can Mohoric beat the man from Denmark? There's a little grin on his face, and there is the sprint. Mats Pedersen is, of course, a lot stronger. Oh, that is a mighty impressive sprint. Mats Pedersen, just like last year, wins the sprint here in Manosque. And when he crosses the finish line, he's also the new race leader here in Tour de la Provence. Mats Pedersen, win #1 of the season. Mohoric in second place. And the peloton, they're actually not really that far off.
With
Fred Wright and the Pestel, but it looks like Fred Wright is going... Godon is the man in 4th place, Wright in 3rd. So he's also going to take some seconds. So I think that Fred Wright also moves up to 3rd in GC, but we'll have that confirmed a little bit later. But what an animal, what a beast ride by Mats Pedersen. Yesterday things didn't really fall into place for him, but today, mightily impressive. Mightily impressive.
When we saw that little replay there, I was just watching the clock. There was a timer at the top on the gantry. He actually took bang on 2 seconds out of Mohoric in that sprint. Now we know that Mohoric has got a real vicious turn of speed, but this man on a slightly uphill finish, and they slowed it down ever so slightly. It was just that initial kick, that big spike of power that Pedersen has got. Mohoric could offer up nothing at all, and he was sprinting full pelt but still managed to concede 2 seconds to Pedersen, who was absolutely flying and has got himself into the lead comfortably in this race. Now, of course, there's a 10-second time bonus, 2 in addition to Mohoric, and then another handful of seconds in front of Fred Wright. So what a ride by the Lidl Trek rider. Win #1 of the year for him. Back to business for Pedersen, that's for sure.